Hi everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. Today I've just had a parcel arrive and it's my Stampin' Up parcel that has some of the items from the new catalogue in and some of the celebration things and a couple of Christmas things. So because it's the new stuff, I thought I would just share with everybody. I did start to open it before I thought about sharing. So there's one item that I've opened and I'll show you that first. It's these blending brushes. Now, I've seen lots of demonstrators use these, and I've seen people who have used them from the dollar store or from a beauty magazine, and often they're like a foam, and I've seen a few from the dollar store where the foam has all started to fall off and everything. So Stampin' Up have just brought out these brand new brushes, and these are actually, they're not foam, they're like little bristles, but it's so soft. It's like, you remember when children were babies and you had those special hair brushes? It was like combing their hair with a piece of velvet. It's just like that. And so I'm going to learn how to do sponging techniques with a brush instead of my little sponge daubers. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with those, but that's the only thing I've opened. So in the rest of my packet, there's the Curvy Dies. They do have a Christmas set out as well, where you use the same dies and it's just a different stamp set. And I wasn't going to get this until the catalogue went live in January. But demonstrators could start earning these or ordering them early on. And I think they've been out sort of maybe 3 weeks or so. And I've seen some of the most beautiful card designs with them. So once I start seeing things on Pinterest or on the demonstrator sites, I think, why didn't I order that? So I ordered it. Shh, don't tell anybody now. Okay, so what these are, look, they're curvy dies that you can use. And so when you make your card, let's find a card base here. When you make your card, you can put your layers on, but you can have either the edge of your card, you can use one of these dies on. So this would be the main part of your card. This piece would be gone, but underneath you might have a piece of designer series paper that peeps through. So you sort of get an extra layer without having to put anything else on. And it cuts out leaves. There are flower shapes here with the little dies. I've seen some people where they've had on their card, they've used one of the curvy dies this way and then another piece at the bottom. So they've had like a white piece in between, and that's where they've put these sentiments. And because they're on a curve as well, that matches these, it looks really pretty. And they've maybe only had 2 pieces of designer series paper and then a sentiment in the middle, and it looks stunning. You don't really need to do too much to make a beautiful card with these. So I do love these little birds as well. And I saw one person had coloured it in so that it looked like a little bluebird, but I thought it'd be really nice, like a little robin, one of the English robins, not the North American robins that are really big, sort of the size of a magpie. Our English robins are tiny and are brown with a beautiful red breast. And you'll find them on lots of Christmas cards and sort of seasonal pictures. It's always like a little English robin. And so that's what I think I might make with those, and just pop them in my Christmas cards. So that was the quite curvy set, and I think they're available to the members of the public from January, but I don't think the Christmas one will be available then. I'm not 100% sure, and because I've only just ordered it, I haven't really followed what's happening with it too much, to be honest. So the other one that I've got that's not out of the new catalogue is this Gnome for the holidays. Now, I have resisted this since the mini catalogue came out. I kept thinking, you know, I'll only make one card with it. I love these little gnomes, but I wouldn't use them too much. Well, actually, I was wrong again. And I'm going to be making lots with it. I think I might even run a class with it because they are just so cute. And it's a really cheap stamp set. You don't need dies or anything with it. It's nice red rubber. So watch out for a class that I'm running with this. Oh, and the other thing I got was liquid glue. But then, because of it being Stampin' Up's convention, which is called Onstage, that was last weekend, and all of the demonstrators who had registered to go to that were able to order some things from this new catalogue, and this is the one that starts January through June. I am not allowed to show you inside the book, but just looking at the front, you know it's going to be a stunner. When you see pictures like this and flowers, it's going to be good. And actually, I ordered most of that set from the front cover, so I can show you the items, I just can't show you inside the catalogue. So let's put that down and I'll show you what I got. Now, let's move that out of the way. Now, this is one of the stamp sets I ordered. It does have a matching die set with it, but I haven't got the dies yet. We were allowed to order them, but my list was longer than my money. So I got this one, and because we already have part of this set, demonstrators going to Onstage were allowed to order a part of this suite. And so the part that I already have is the the punch, and the stamp set. And there was like a braided twine. And let me see, oh, these little embellishments. I'm looking to see where I put the stamp set. I will find it. You see tiny little ladybirds. And I did see that somebody had used one of their red stamping blends and coloured over those to make them look red. And then there's a designer series paper that goes with it. You can see I've been playing with this already. It's a 6x6 paper, and it's sort of dandelions and garden flowers, all of the dragonflies. It's really, really pretty. And as always, one of the sides might be themed, but the other one is always quite generic. And this kind of a background works for anything. So why haven't I got the stamp set with me? Where did I put it? Just give me a second and I'll have a look, see if I've got it on the side here. Oh, yeah, I've got it. So it goes with this dragonfly garden. So you can see that this is the punch for this one. And it will punch out some of the dragonflies on the designer series paper. I haven't yet found if this one stamps out on the designer series paper. It probably does, but I can't vouch for it at the moment because I haven't looked. Now this one does go with the punch, but this first one here, it does have dies. And these are some of the cards I made with it. We had to make, well, we didn't have to, we all made cards on the day, and these were the ideas that Stampin' Up gave us. So it's not something I've invented, but it's just such a pretty, pretty set. This one was my design. I did this one for a PDF that I made with a group of demonstrators, and we sent this to our teams. But this one was my design. And I love stamping on designer series paper. So, oh, these are all my envelopes. No naked envelopes, of course. So my envelopes are all decorated. And then this one. This wasn't my favourite. I would do the design again. I just didn't like having all the dark paper. But when we were given the challenge, the paperwork just said to cut so many pieces of designer series paper at a certain size. Had I been making it afterwards, I might have chosen paper that was a little bit brighter. Okay, so that's from that Dragonfly Garden set, and that will be available in January. And by January, I will have bought the dies that go with this as well. I love these dandelions. I don't like them so much in my garden, but I do love seeing them. Okay, and then I bought a suite as well, or as much of the suite as I could actually get with the money I had. And it's this art gallery one, the one that I said was on the front, and it has this 2-step stamping and the leaves. I liked the font, and I liked that it covered a lot of occasions. You know, it's one of those sets where you'll use the sentiments probably on more cards than you use the flowers. And it's a photopolymer one. So when you're doing that 2-step stamping, it's easy to see when you put the second stamp on top, it's easy to line up. You're not trying to think, you know, oh, is that quite in the right place? Like you can sometimes with red rubber. And it has dies that go with it. Let's take these out, because one of the dies I think is going to be a winner. I'm going to use it a lot. So let's take these out. So the dies are called Floral Gallery dies. And what I like is this one. It's a nice big sentiment. And you're going to ask me what it says. And it says just something. And I'm just going to check what it says before I tell you something and it's wrong. I thought it was just for you, but I'm not 100% sure now. So I'm not showing you inside the book. I'm just trying to find the set and look what it says. See, it's that long since I ordered it, all of a few days. Just want to say, that's what it says, not just for you. So just want to say, put that sentiment on the front of a card with just a piece of designer series paper. You don't need anything else. Maybe a ribbon, but you don't need anything else. And then, of course, it cuts out the flowers. And look at this. These little banner shapes. Almost looks like postage stamp edging. So let's pop that one to one side. But I did buy paper, designer series paper, and acetate that went with this. There's like a very natural ribbon that goes with it. It's got a little gold thread in it, but no, let me just take that off so you can see it a little bit better. Just find my scissors. Let's chop that off. It's sort of sticking to my thumb. Oh, there we go. You see, it's like a very rustic, natural colour ribbon, but it's got just a slight gold thread in it as well. Very pretty. Prettier than it probably looks on the photos here. Then it has this embossing folder, which was one of the 3D embossing folders, so they're the thicker folders and they give a really crisp impression. And it almost looks like stucco painting. So I like that. And then let me get the paper that goes with it. So there are 2 papers that I got. I got the gold acetate and then the designer series paper. I'm running out of space here. Filling up my desk. Let's have this open as well. And we did see demonstrations, as demonstrators who went to the Onstage, we did see demonstrations for lots of these new products. And honestly, the ladies and gentlemen who were demonstrating, they made some fantastic things. And you couldn't help but get excited. So look at these. It's that same flower that's on the stamp set, which is under here. You see, it's this same flower and the same... the same 2-step stamping kind of idea on it as well. I haven't checked to see if the dies cut this out. It might do. Let's have a little look. Oh. Let's see. This looks like the bigger one. Yeah, it does look. It cuts those flowers out. So you don't even have to stamp them. You can use these ones. Oh, wow. I love when everything coordinates like that. Okay. It's quite a thick paper as well. Oh, that's quite pretty for backing. But I love the flowers. sometimes I find it really hard to choose which side of the paper to use. So I end up getting 2 sets of the DSP. That's never a bad thing, is it? Oh, it's pretty. They look like oil paintings, don't they? Like somebody's oil painted it and then they've taken photographs because they're all this same texture. So that's why it fits with the embossing folder as well, look. Because it looks like it's oil painted with the depth. And so the embossing folder is the same. Wow. I love those colours. I think that's my favourite sheet so far. Ooh, look at the back. That is just like the embossing folder. Okay. And I know, oh, that's pretty too. I know there's, oh, that's pretty too. And I know there's one special page that I bought as well. This is the very special page that once I'd seen this demonstrated, I was just in love with the paper on its own. So let me open this acetate. So this is called Golden Garden Designer Speciality Acetate. Let me see, how many sheets are there in there? Is it 3? Yeah, 3 sheets. Let's open these. So they're all, like the window sheet, they're all clear. I don't know if they have a backing on. I can't see. They might have. That's maybe why they're so thick. But I don't know. I can't open it at the minute. But what I love is this piece, which on its own, you probably think, oh yeah, that's really pretty. Yeah, I like that. I'm pretty sure it might have a backing on, you know. No, maybe not. And it fits over this piece. And when you lay them on the top, can you see it goes round each of these flowers? And I saw on the demonstration where they'd cut this paper, I think it was Sarah Douglas herself who was using it, they'd cut it sort of at 4 inches and I think it was 3 inches by 4 inches or something. And then they had this as the front of their card, and you could put a sentiment here. You could put that that little die cut that said "just want to say." You could cut that out and put it here. But these pieces were just the front of a card, and wow, did it look stunning. Now, sometimes it's difficult to attach these kinds of papers together, but I think what you could do is where your sentiment is going to be. You could put glue dots joining the acetate to the designer series paper and then put your sentiment over the top so that you wouldn't see it. Or you could put it behind these thicker parts of the gold if you thought you were going to see it through it. But I just think that is beautiful. So pretty. And you can make 6 cards out of the front of that, you know. Lovely. Yeah, I wouldn't be using the back. That's not my favourite kind of colour, especially when you see that. You know, there's really no comparison, is there? You want to have that side. So that's that designer series paper for the fine art floral set and the art gallery stamps. So, so pretty. Okay, let me just move this acetate out of the way. So the last suite that I got pieces out of was this masculine set. Now masculine paper I always find is a bit difficult to find different things. I always end up with having just plaid or, you know, just stripes or something. But this one, just move that down. It's called Well Suited. And whoops. And of course you've got these nice diagonals, you've got your little checks and plaids, you've got this one that looks like a herringbone material, little squares again, dots and things, and you're probably thinking, well that's not very masculine, that one, and what does she mean? It's still got lots of plaids and things in, like stripes. But I'll show you something in a minute that will just make it look so wonderful. I love this paisley one. Okay, so that's the papers, and it goes with this. And I think the whole suite is called Well Suited. And there are stamps with ties, your Happy Father's Day, little bow ties. There's twine in Night of Navy, and I think this was basic grey. And then there's this set of dies. And when I looked at this on the premiere, I thought, oh yeah, it's, you know, like a masculine set for Father's Day, for Dad's birthdays, ties and things. What I hadn't appreciated is what these dies do. I wish I could show you a picture of it already, but of course I can't. But you will be just blown away by what this does. So the dies are called Suit and Tie dies, and this is the set. And when you look at it, there's like the bow ties and the ties. You can see how that's gonna work. Then there's this long piece that I thought, oh, is that sort of making a banner to cut one of these sentiments out? Well, I didn't really know why it was so big. And then there's these funny little shapes. I thought, oh, that maybe makes a bow tie or something. And these, what it actually makes is a suit jacket or a jumper, like a sweater or something. A little pocket here for if you're making a shirt. And when you use these pieces on something like, let's get that pinstripe, you end up with a piece that's, you know, the same as your basic card. So you end up with an oblong piece, and then these go on it to cut out a V shape, and underneath would be a shirt. And this is the placket that the buttons fit on. And then this piece here makes the lapels of a suit. And these little pieces are for braces, and I forget what you call them over here. Suspenders, you call them over here. Now, in the UK, these are not suspenders. Suspenders are the things that hold stockings up on ladies. And we call the things that go over men's arms to hold their trousers up braces. But I know you call them something different here. So that's what that makes. But this little suit part, honestly, the examples that I saw, they were just stunning. And it was the sort of card that I thought, you know, we could make that for grad. It doesn't just have to be for Dad. It could be for grad. I saw one where they'd made it into a wedding suit, and they'd used just the V part next to it and made a bridal dress. So it was like a bride and groom card. And I think the more you play with something like this, the more ideas you're going to get. And honestly, it was beautiful. I will try and make some cards with it and show you just how stunning it is. Because it is one of those sets that when you first look, you say, oh yeah, that's a masculine one. It's got ties and things. And then when you start to see what people have made with it, wow. Now, this tie shape, what that looked really good on was pieces like this. Because when you, let's put it over the top so you can see what I'm blathering on about. When you put that over the top, you see how it's just like the tie, you know, that makes the stripes on the tie. And it's just those little attention to detail kind of things that I was so excited to see. And I loved these buttons. When you cut them out, you cut out all 6 at the same time. And I did see the demonstrator say sometimes it's a bit tricky to get it out of the die. You really do have to poke through these holes. And because it's got embossing on as well, it can make the paper stick a bit more. So you just get like your pokey tool, pop them out. So if you end up with this and you think, oh, it sticks a bit, maybe there's a problem with it. It's not. It's just because it's so tiny and it has embossing in there as well. Okay, so let's put that one to one side. And then What also comes in January is Celebration. And usually Celebration goes on for 3 weeks. Well, no, 3 months, I beg your pardon. This year we're going to have 2, and they're going to be for 2 months each, which means that we get like double the excitement and double the sets of stamps and papers and things. And again, I'm only allowed to show you the front cover, but you see this little one here that's called A Touch of Ink. That's a set that I actually won as a prize patrol, and it was one of the ones that I was going to buy the whole suite from this Celebration things. And so I know that I've got that set coming, but I will be buying other things that match it because it is just beautiful. Now, I only ordered 3 Celebration items. I got a paper that's 12 by 12, a paper that's 6 by 6, and a stamp set. Now, I did actually get more than 3. It's just that I got duplicates of things, so I've left some in the box. And look at this. This just made me laugh. At school, at the preschool, we often read the Wonky Donkey story, and I see that there's actually a 3rd book out of it. We've got Winky Wonky Donkey and the Wonky Donkey, and now I see there's one about Grandma Donkey or something. But when I saw this, I thought, you know, I do these donkey stories all the time at school, and this is going to be one that I can put on pictures for the kids and make a little game with. I might make a matching game where we have, you know, 2 donkeys in grey or 2 donkeys in brown, so that I can put them on cards for them and they can turn them over and play those memory match type games, or Snap and things like that. They will like that. That will just tickle them. But it's not only for preschool, of course. These are going to make some really fun birthday cards too. And I did get 2 sets of this one because I like him. At first I thought, no, I'm not getting that. But, you know, the more times I looked through the catalogue, and it made me laugh every single time I saw it. So I knew I had to have it. And they're a really good size. You know, they're not teeny weeny little things, but it's one of the sets you get if you spend $60 in January and February. You can choose a free stamp set or free papers. Sometimes they'll have ribbons you can choose, sometimes embossing folders. And some of the things you can only order if you spend 120. They're called a level 2 item. These are a level 1. You spend $60 and these darling little donkeys are coming to your house. Okay, so I'm gonna put that. And then I got this little set of 6 by 6 Oh So Ombre designer series paper. And let's see what the colours were. Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Granny Apple Green, Rococo Rose and Whisper White. And they looked pretty. So yeah, 6 by 6. But see how they've got that faded effect? There are different designs. Let me just, I don't know how many of each. 1, 2, 3 of those. This is the sort that I like. Now, you know I said about stamping on designer series paper when I was showing you this. When you stamp on this kind of designer series paper where you've got the lighter part going down and graduating to the dark, that always looks great with something stamped on it. And it makes a really easy but effective background. So I will be doing stamping on there. Oh, look at the Granny Apple Green on the back. That's nice. Are there 3 sheets of each then? Yeah. Okay, and then here we are in the pinks. Oh, well. Okay, and then the whole set starts again. I wasn't sure that we were only getting 3 squares of each, but that's why. They seem to do, at the moment, they seem to do a quarter of the pack is all the same, then the next quarter is the same, next quarter. And so that seems to be how they're putting them in the packets at the moment. I noticed that with a couple of the Christmas ones too. So if you want to, you know, share them out or anything, you can just easily take a quarter of a pack to give to somebody or pop in a gift for them. So that's really nice and for free. And then this one. So let's have a look at what this one's like. This is called Flower and Field Design. And I wondered if it would be going with the Dragonfly set, that Dragonfly Garden set. I wasn't sure when I did the order. And because we did the order after Onstage, you know, I'd seen so many things by then. My brain was a bit fried, to be honest, because it was full of all ideas, things I was going to make, things I wanted to buy. So, oh, that's pretty. Again, it's like hand painted. And I know sometimes that is what they do at Stampin' Up. They have some of their artists hand paint a board and then that's what they use for the designer paper. That's really pretty. I wish I could paint. So, oh, that's nice too. I think I've got it upside down, you know. Let's try it the right way around. Oh, nice. And the backs, you know, you could use for anything. They don't have to be floral at all, do they? Oh, pretty, pretty. And it's a thick, it is a very thick paper. Oh, that's nice. That would go really nice with our daisy punch too. Or the ornate garden suite with the little daisy things in. Oh, the leaves are pretty, aren't they? Oh, I'm going to have a lot of fun this celebration. Oh, that's nice. I love that misty moonlight. Nice. I'm not too sure about that side. I think you would maybe have to tone that down a little bit. Maybe have a white or vanilla card base and maybe a layer of red. And then this and a sentiment over. Then I think that would look pretty. Or it would look pretty with that ribbon that I showed you. With this, like the rusticy gold ribbon. That would look nice, wouldn't it? And the stripes. Oh, the stripes are great too. Okay. So that's all the things I've got so far. I hope you've seen something that's made you think, wow, I'd like that from the new catalogue. As soon as I can order both the Celebration catalogues and the mini catalogues, I will be ordering them and I will be making sure that all of my customers can get their copy. If you don't have a demonstrator in Canada that you work with and you'd like one of these catalogues, drop me a line. You can go to craftsbythebow.blogspot.com and you can comment on there as well. Let me know and I will send you one of these in the mail. So thanks very much for just watching my little unboxing and for listening to me go on and on about what I've just bought. But really, there are some beautiful things coming up. And Celebration looks like one of the nicest ones I've seen. So thank you for watching me, everybody. If you've got any questions at all or any requests about which stamps that I need to make something from first, just let me know and I will try and make that first. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you all again really soon. Bye-bye.